Hey there, it's Cyn. Today we are doing a pick a card reading, and it's going to be on my bed, as you can see. Why this setup? Because the rest of my room is a mess right now and I can't be bothered, and messages need to get out ASAP for the following next few months. I feel called by Spirit to do a reading today about guidance moving forward with the state of the world we're currently going through, and providing some sort of insight, support, encouragement, and inspiration I'm hearing. So with that being said, welcome to my channel. My name is Veruca Cyn. Welcome back, my wonderful Cynners. I love you all. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Veruca Cyn. I'm a clothing designer turned mystic, your sister from another mister, spiritual advisor. Most importantly, I'm here to empower you. I just got out of the shower not too long ago and did some really nice energetic cleansing. And I was like, by the time I finished drying my hair and then getting all my makeup done, the day is gonna go by. I just need to make it happen. So I cleanse myself and I'm here, and that's what counts, right? Showing up is half the battle. The other half is me channeling for you. So I'm going to lightly cleanse this space and set the intention for my spirit guides, asking the universe, my ancestors, for protection of love and light, and insight today for channeled messages on guidance and insight for the following few months. And I'm even hearing for the rest of the 2021 moving forward. So that would mean October, November, December, 3 months remaining. I'm going to shuffle and create 3 piles. And within 3 piles are messages that you need to hear for the remainder of the year. Look at spirit rhyming, huh? Insights for message you need to hear for the remainder of the year. That's the message. Okay. I'm going to put one earbud down because I need to hear myself speak. But it really does help to have music playing as I channel. It gets me in the zone. You know what I mean? Angelic beam. Don't mind my neighbors. They're lit. It is currently 4:47 p.m. right now. Okay. 3 piles, please. I hear 3 cards from this pile, from this deck. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. This is the Ancestors card. Angels and Ancestors. Pile 1. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Okay, cool. Pile 2. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Pile number 3. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Okay. Okay, I'm using Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. For pile 1, please. Card for pile 1. Messages we need to hear for the end of the year. For the remainder of the year, I meant the end of the year. For the remainder of the year. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year, pile number 2. Messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year, pile number 3. Perfect. Shuffled together. Pile number 1, please. Card. Oracle card for pile number 1 for remainder messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Message for pile number 2, please, for messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. Card for pile number 3, please, for messages we need to hear for the remainder of the year. So right in front of you is 3 piles. Go ahead and take the time to choose which pile calls to you most, and if you feel called to more than one pile, you're more than welcome to listen to them or listen to all 3. I'm pretty sure all 3 of them will provide you with some form of insight that will be valuable regardless. All right, so let's move on to pile number 1, shall we? Okay, so pile number 1, you got Autumn, release the old and rest. Night, be brave and honest. Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Oh. Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. And Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Okay. So for the Angelarium card, you got Zachriel, Angel of Memory. You also got daily guidance. You got trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. And then we got Spark of Divine, number 27. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am part of all creation. I feel called to look at the rest of the cards now. Actually, I'll list them and then I'll lay them all down and I'll start channeling the message for you, okay, pile number 1? That's how I read. So we got the Lovers, Compromise, Innocence, and Receptivity. And then for Cosmos Tarot and Oracle deck, you got the Tower, Leo Minor, and Fornex. And then for Romance Oracles, you got Codependency, Express Your Love, and Worth Waiting For. Okay, I'm going to channel now. So what are the messages that we need to hear for part number 1 for the remainder of the year? I'm getting a message for some of you guys who are in partnerships or relationships. You're living with your significant other, or you have recently just moved in with your special someone. Because of the way the world is currently like, there will be moments depending where you are in the world, you may be going through or about to go through some form of lockdown or isolation, quarantine type of situation in your surrounding living area. So with that being said, the whole significance of me mentioning this is because there's going to be a call for you to compromise and learn how to share. I am hearing for some of you guys, you are very territorial or possessive of your belongings, and you don't like things touched when you placed it there. So I'm hearing like a message like, if you put away you like to decorate and place your glue. I don't know why I'm hearing glue. Like you put your glue and your craft stuff in a certain position and location. You like to go back and see that it's still there, that nobody touched it. But because you're living with a partner, they might want to borrow some of your things, and because you guys live together and you're partners, you tend to share. And the partner may not necessarily remember to return things back to you in the exact way they left it when they first found it. And that could kind of trigger you. And this has to do with surfacing up an old wound within who you are as an individual, pile number 1. These are for those who are in relationships, okay? Or if you're not in a relationship and you have a roommate, this is also the same scenario. It's triggering out an old wound when you had during childhood where you never really learned quite to share. And or if you did share, you overshared so much to the point where you overcompensated for what you had. And you didn't have a strong sense of boundary. And you never had the chance, nor did you learn to develop how to communicate what it was that you really want, articulate what you were okay with and what you were not okay with. And you would simply let it pass to the point where now, as a super trigger, you just automatically refuse to share as a whole. And if you share, you're very stingy with how you share. And this can take a toll on your partner's mental health as well as yours moving forward. So this is a forewarning, pile number 1, to learn to share and to take some time to go back to that childhood trauma of yours and revisit and heal it and figure out how you would do things differently if you were to visit your inner child and see that's happening. How would you reparent yourself to let go of that fear of sharing so you can be able to open up again and allow for not only sharing but receiving? There's a hesitancy there, and living together will cause for a lot of vulnerable moments, and especially being around each other for so many hours and constantly being within each other's vicinity within that period of time, because due to the quarantine, you will be forced to see yourself. You are each other's greatest mirrors, regardless if you're lovers or you're roommates. You attracted each other because that was your vibration. And now you are forced from the universe, as well as yourself and your higher self and their higher self, to look at yourselves and be like, what is it in the other person that I see that drew me to them? That what made me want to be their friend or their lover in the first place? And what is it about them that are different from me? And what are those different attributes within them that I can incorporate and integrate into myself, vice versa? I do hear if you feel called to, you are more than welcome to share this message with your partner or your roommate as well. Okay, pile number 1. Then you guys could work something together here. So pile number 1, Spirit did want to talk about relationships, and this has to do with both platonic, mutual, friendship, as well as romantic. There is a reminder here that some of you guys moved in with your partner or roommates from a place of codependency, and that probably has to do and stemming from the part where you had some form of trauma formed during COVID. And that sort of isolation really left a number on you, which is completely understandable, of course. And because of that, it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction now, pile number 1, for you to be really pushing forward to looking for someone to be with at all times, even if it means settling to be with someone you may not necessarily have a long-term future with. And if that's the case, Spirit and your spirit guides are encouraging for you to look deep within yourself and be honest with yourself. If you're trying to rush a relationship and make certain dynamics and events happen in your life, rather than trusting in the timing of your life. And we say that because there's the cards worth waiting for after codependency, right? And express your love. I do sense that here during this time with the whole needing to heal from your inability to compromise, share, and receive properly from those around you, as well as lovers, from lovers and to lovers. That sort of healing does need to be worked on during the next 3 months towards the end of 2021. And the more you work on this inner child wound, the more you're going to gravitate towards realizing that the relationship you're currently in, or the relationships that you're trying to cultivate, may not necessarily be the ones who are going to be part of your end game. And this is by no means a fault of anyone, but usually it's rushing. There's a pressure from society and rushing to meet some sort of deadline, as if choosing a partner is some form of task or relationship that you check off the list. And it shouldn't be so robotic or heartless like that. I'm hearing like decisions like relationships and connections that we cultivate should come from the heart. And this is coming more so from the mind. You may be selecting to be each other's roommate or partners because it just seems sound, but you may not feel the passion and desire within one another. It does not feel like it's flowing organically. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of inspired action, so to speak. So the more you heal that inner child wound, the more you're going to walk towards and be able to identify properly the type of relationships you do want to cultivate, and the connections and the interactions that make you feel alive and make you feel inspired. And the need for codependency and the fear of loneliness will start subsiding, if not dissipating. And a lot of our loneliness stems from the fear of wanting to face ourselves. The more you're able to face yourself and your shadows, the more you will be capable of, the more comfortable you will be isolated, to be alone. And alone is not being without the other individual or without others external to you. Being alone means being content to be by oneself in one's companionship. And that companionship is your own. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, 2 + 7, 27, spark of divine. I feel like pile number 1, you guys are on the verge of a spiritual awakening or deeper self-awareness. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am part of all of creation. So I feel like this is the one blockage in your life, the fear of facing your own shadows and fear of sharing due to that childhood trauma. That's probably the last, I hear, key to you literally having an awakening and transcending, those are the words, transcending to the next level of your life. And I feel like you're a really wise soul. I heard rise. I said rise soul. Maybe they want you to rise. Maybe they want you to be more confident in all that you do, which blends in perfectly well with the card trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receive our support for anything that you need to relate to this idea. So I feel like you may be hiding in relationships or interactions with other people, pile number 1, in order to avoid answering your higher life calling, which is coming into self-awareness and awakening and pursuing this lifelong goal. I hear that is your true passion. You have a true passion that you're avoiding because you don't feel competent enough. Maybe some of you guys want to be artists. I hear some of you guys want to be writers, and some of you guys want to be teachers. You are divinely guided and supported and encouraged to develop the belief in yourself. See, you can't go and create, and you cannot go and master the skill of something if you are afraid to be by yourself. In order to master a skill and explore a talent or cultivate an ability that you already have dormant within you, the potential, the seed of who you are in your soul, you have to first be able to be in the silence and in the isolation of oneself and just be within your own company. That is the only way you can cultivate and bring forth this inner vision of yours. You can't do it with the external sounds and noises and companionships and opinions and interruptions of other people. You're afraid to face yourself. But if you're able to face yourself, you will see what's so amazing about yourself. And perhaps that form of compromise externally to you, well, it's not even perhaps, it's a direct reflection of the internal reality that within you. Your inability to compromise and your inability to share, and your withholding directly reflects within who you are and your state of mind that you have been withholding from yourself, and your inability to compromise and meet the needs and demands of what your heart really wants between the heart and the mind of what your mind logically thinks it needs. So once you start opening that up and you start receiving, being more receptive and returning to a state of innocence, which means to pursue things that make you feel alive, things that make you happy, things that make you laugh, to allow your inner child to come out to play, so to speak. When you allow that to happen, that is when you'll be ready to step into your true calling of what it is that speaks to you. The Tower. Eridanus, a twist of fate at the mercy of a greater power. Leo Minor, budding talent, person in training. Fornax, incubation, pregnancy. Okay, this is a literal warning from universe and your spirit guides. If you don't make a choice for what you want in your life in the next coming 3 months, universe will make a choice for you. So the fact that there's incubation and pregnancy, there could be a possible warning that you might have a pregnancy scare if you're not careful with practicing safe sex. And or I even hear like life's obligation pulling you along the way. If you don't start beginning to listen to your heart, your logical mind is going to step in and you're going to start doing things like checking things off of as if it's off of a checklist. So if you're in a relationship and you're going through the relationship from stemming from a codependent place and you're thinking, oh, this is the best way, this is what I need, the next practical step would be, oh, maybe getting married or having children. And you're going to go deeper and deeper further along the path into something that may not fully, truly resonate with who you are, because we have this here. Your inner artists, your inner visions, your inner dreams want to come out. Your dreams are the things that want you to give birth to, not an actual child. I mean, if you want to have an actual child, go ahead. But I really feel like it's like your creativity and your inner visions of what you want for life is wanting to come out. But if you don't decide to prioritize that and to listen to that inner voice of yours and to start beginning cultivating a deeper relationship with yourself and facing yourself and healing those trauma wounds, then life will choose for you, aka you're going to not follow your heart, you're going to follow your mind, and you're going to start going down a path that is diverging away from what it is you really want, okay? Budding talent, person in training, you do have the ability and the potential to really go after what you want. You're more than capable. But it really comes down to whether or not you choose to believe in yourself. And how you believe in yourself is by taking the first small steps, one step at a time towards the direction of what it is that you really aspire for. Because the more time you cultivate and you put into something, the more you invest your time and your energy and your efforts into something, is the more you're opening up space and you're holding space to cultivate and bring more of that experience into your life. Literally. What else? Angel of memory. So this ties back, pile number 1, deeper into your childhood traumas. The reason why you might be doing all these things is because you want so badly, because those aspects of yourself is not healed. You want so badly to heal those parts by, in your current logical standpoint, accomplishing the relationship goals and meeting these milestones in your life. This is your way of thinking. That's how you can resolve this inner pain that you have. Of all these memories, you never felt, pile number one, you never really felt like you had a true sense of belonging or home. And because of that, you want to make your own home. Yes, that's a form of healing by taking action and forming something to replace something you never had. But that is a conditional, it is a very conditional behavior and approach. And why do I say that? Because you're slotting in people into your life. Okay, you're going to be my husband or my wife or my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whatever boo thing. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to have 3 kids with you by this year. And then when these kids grow up, they're going to be like these people in my life. But you're not, the one flaw you're not factoring in, pile number one, is you're not factoring in how other people feel about all this. Which comes down to compromising. You have to be receptive and you have to be open in realizing other people have their own opinions about the matter too. Your inability to open up your heart and be open to other people's opinions and feelings and thoughts and what their wishes are, aside from what you think is best for them and what you think is best for you, it's going to be the downfall, because you're going to do all these things and you're going to treat people like pawns. The children you raise may not end up being the ideal children you want, pile number one. They may not be the quiet, peaceful children that are docile and listen to you, or maybe they might not be the adventurous, outgoing, bold children that you want them to be, or maybe they don't really want to spend time with you like you thought they would. Maybe the dynamic and the connection you want to cultivate with them wouldn't aspire or unravel the way you would hope it would be. That is the beauty and the ugly truth of free will, my friend. And we don't take that into account because we would think, why wouldn't they love me? I'm their mother. Yeah, that's very true. But sometimes it's beyond that. Sometimes it's not that they don't love you. They just don't love you in the way you want them to. That is one of the hardest truths that I feel like people have a really difficult time coming to. And because your inability to want to hear other people out is also direct reflection, pile number one, of your inability to hear yourself. You keep blocking out your own heart, so therefore it's inevitable that you're blocking out other people's heart too. Release the old and rest, autumn. Yes, autumn and fall is here now, at least in Canada where I am, and it's the perfect time to transition, to allow things to just let go and fall apart as they should. If a relationship isn't working, if a connection isn't working, if a friendship isn't working, a roommate isn't working, if a job isn't working, and you feel drawn to go apply for another opportunity, you feel drawn to actually for the first time stop doing what you think the society is expecting of you and start pursuing what you really want, that is the time. If you feel like it's time to let go of a friendship because they've outserved you and you've outgrown each other, it is time. Whatever that is trying to fall apart and trying to fall away, and you're trying desperate to really hold it and duct tape it together more metaphorically, it is time to let that go. I'm literally hearing let that shit go. So pile number one, it does not mean goodbye, okay? It just means see you later or see you in another time. Sometimes people need to fall apart from you, and sometimes you need to fall apart from others in order to fall into yourself, and in order for them to fall into themselves. Hence the codependency. You may be holding on to each other for the wrong reasons, therefore it's codependent. There's healthy codependency, and that term is interdependency. So you may be falling out of codependency and into interdependency, where you have your own independence and you have a healthy time and place where you lean on and have support from others external to you, and you know the difference. So let's see our ancestors' guidance here. Knight, be brave and honest, okay? Not just to others, but to yourself first and foremost. Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. What did I say? Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. So this is a forewarning. I do see the same grasshopper in these cards here, like Innocence and Shaolin Master. So learning to master your emotions, or to at least understand and process your emotions, may be a very new thing, pile number 1. And so if your emotions tend to be volatile, there's a difference between allowing yourself to feel the emotions you do feel, and the difference between how you choose to respond and act from your place of emotions. That's called emotional accountability, emotional responsibility, and being emotionally aware. Right? It's one thing to experience these feelings for the first time and not know how to handle them, and lashing out on other people in a very unexpected, undeserving way. Even if they didn't deserve it, it's never good, because whatever you project out will always come back to you. You cannot be without something. If it's already within you, not only are you subjecting other people to suffer, you already first suffered before you even felt the intention to want them to suffer or feel the same amount of pain that you have to begin with. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Yes, that's pretty obvious. I don't need to say much. Yeah, so that is your message, pile number 1. I certainly hope it brought you some insight. I see how everything put together very cohesively and beautifully. Thank you so much, Spirit. And I certainly hope this helps your roommate, partner, future partner, current partner, and yourself as well, and your inner self and your inner child moving forward. And yeah, if you enjoy my vibe, you know where it's at. Subscribe button, bell notification. And of course, as always, if you want a reading from me, all the information is down in the description box below. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, let's move on to pile number 2, shall we? Let's take a look at your cards. So your ancestor oracles, you got Shaman, trust in higher forces. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. And third card is Direction Guardian, choose your path. Your oracle emanations, Malkuth, ground, the kingdom. Oh, and for your daily guidance from your angels, you got listen. Hey, listen! Quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you. Listen. Very good advice. And then we got Conscious Spirit Oracle, number 4, gratitude. I am grateful for everyone and everything in my life and the lessons each brings. And it's funny how it's like green in this earth, and then we got ground too from Kingdom. Okay. Your love oracle cards are Deception, Heart-to-heart conversations, Free yourself, and Release your ex. Okay. And then for the Osho Zen, we got Turning In, also number 4. Let me move the cards up. We are the world. Creativity and isolation. And I'm hearing immediately, isolation is of the mind. Ow. And it's really funny how there's number 3, isolation, right before turning in, which is number 4. So it's like, it's all in perspective, right? What you think is isolation is actually the perfect environment and atmosphere for turning inwards and facing your shadows. That's beautiful. Or facing what needs to be faced. Or if it's not facing your shadows and is talking about listening, you're turning in to listen. And you're pushing aside all the ego and opinions, the ghosts of former opinions and false truths, to uncover the real answer within yourself that you already know deep down in your heart. Okay, so then we have from the Cosmos, Oracle, and Tarot cards, we have 11, Nebula, Theory, Ideation, and Process. We have Black Hole, Drain of Resources, Dangerous Undercurrent, 21. And then we got Dark Matter, Unseen Forces at Work, Karma. So I'm going to take a little moment to reflect on what these messages are, okay? This one's a lot more abstract of a message. I'm getting immediately, pile number 2, you guys are light workers. You guys are being called to pay attention to your higher calling, your higher purpose, your reason for being. Yes, it's important to be in your egoic state and think of your humanly needs, and especially if you have past karma that has not been worked out. And what do I mean by past karma? Karma that is passed on to you from past lifetimes. That is essential to work out, but also don't forget, don't get too lost in the sauce, okay? That's what I'm hearing. Don't get too lost in the sauce. And remember, you have a higher purpose. People need you. We are the world. People need you, pile number 2. You are irreplaceable. Only you can do what you do best, okay? Every light worker here, every person who's a healer, every person who is a shaman, a mystic, a witch, every person who's here has a perspective no one else can replace. What else is there? Ground, the kingdom. I'm literally hearing the words, let kingdom come. So there's also this quote where it's like, heaven is here on earth. Heaven is a state of mind. And I feel like, pile number 2, when the next 3 months, moving towards the end of the year, the messages you need to hear is that you need to stop dreaming for a better future. That is the catch-22 for healers, okay? Catch-22 for people who want to make this world a better place is because you're always perpetually looking at the problem. That's funny. I can relate. You're always seeing where things can improve and how things could be better. But because you are always under that scope and lens, you have trained yourself to always withhold your own happiness and maybe even influence the realization of withholding happiness from others because you are always thinking things could be better or waiting for a better tomorrow. And that can't be, because you need to realize every moment is already getting better. Things are always falling into place. There's always divine timing. People are getting their karma where they need. People are growing, expanding, healing, being hurt in the right time. Yes, and I said healing is equally important, but being injured in an emotional sense, maybe physical sometimes, is important, just as crucial, because if it acts as the catalyst to a deeper realization or awakening, or to project someone towards their life path and their purpose, that is what needs to take place. It is not our place to judge. We never should be seeing something through such polarizing lens where it's like black and white, or it's good or not good. Sometimes what we think is not good for the bigger picture is actually something that will help move things along the way. Divine intervention. So a lot of you, okay, I see the head here. There's like a palace or a castle with really deep roots set in. So you guys are very, very awakened. You have a lot of knowledge and a lot of history and a lot of experience and deep inner wisdom that has been passed on from, not even passed on, you've been transcending lifetimes, pile number 2. Okay, you have more than enough. You are grounded in the above, if that makes sense. It sounds like such an oxymoron to say that. You're grounded in the above. You are so grounded in the above that Spirit is asking for you to start grounding below. You are so rooted in your third eye, your crown chakra, your ability to see the future, your ability to see how things could be improved, be different. You see things nobody sees. You see the in-between, pile number 2. You see the space, and you see the truth behind people's masks. Oh, that's why there's deception. I get it. You can see a person through and through. You can tell when they're being disingenuine. And because of this is a gift. But you often get lost in the sauce. You know it, but you don't know what to do with all this information. Okay, that is why there is theory, ideation, and process happening. You have to take what is given to you, okay, the seed. We don't know what's going to grow out of it, because that's why it's creativity here. Everyone's different. Your voice is needed. The world needs you. And you may not know what this looks like because it's never been birthed before. It's never been cultivated before. What you have to offer to this planet in this lifetime has never been done before, pile number 2. Only you will know in time, and you will know when it's meant to be time for you to know. Hence, tuning within, okay? Listen. They require you to quiet your mind and body, to listen, turning in, shedding deeper egos, okay? Even the opinions and expectations and standards of people and teachers from religious backgrounds or even the spiritual community, shedding all of those opinions and listening to what your higher self and what your inner heart wants to bring into fruition into this lifetime. Yes, those people were teachers at some point, and they helped us, show us the ropes and the steps, so to speak, for us to get the foundations and understanding of how things can work. They were the founders at the time, okay? They were the founders and pioneers of way of thinking. But now you are here to innovate that. You're here to take that and flip it on its head, pile number 2, okay? Whatever concept you've been believing and that you've had grounded that opposes everything you already know, trust in it, okay? As long as it doesn't hurt anyone and it doesn't bring any pain, or it doesn't compromise over the dignity and the respect of other people, do you, boo, okay? Whatever those thoughts and beliefs are, that has been planted in your mind and you've known ever since you were a child. I hear pile number 2. Ever since you were a child, deep down inside, you know what it is. Now it's time to take action and bring them down into the ground. Plant those roots, those ideations into reality. I get it now. Ideation. Some people might think you're going against the grain, or like think you're doing something that's very impractical, because in this photo I'm seeing literally these birds laying eggs right on the bottom of a volcano. So people are like, this is like self, I don't know, not self-sabotage, but it's almost like It's like a death wish. Like, why would you want that? Like, it's not gonna go anywhere. People are gonna think you're crazy. This and that, this and that. It's fine. It's fine. We're in a society now is for the first world countries, not third world countries. First world countries, that when you have a concept that people may not necessarily believe, they won't go and like burn you at the stake. They're not gonna throw you into an asylum and think you're crazy. But people might question you a little bit. But it will take time. Okay, it will take time to cultivate, to grow. Oh, to grow. I wanted to say erode. Things that existed before you and ideations that people have tried planting upon you needs time to erode away. And that erodation, I think that's a word, takes time. And how? For you to shed. You have to shed and open your heart, because people have put a lot of shield around you, including yourself. It's like standoffish. It's coming from a fear-based place. You have to start warming up the ice around you, warming up the hearts around you, warming up your own heart to release the ice, to break away from this confinement of other people's opinions about you, and to also peel away the layers of even your ancestors' opinions, your spirit guide's opinion, and trust in your own higher self, because only your higher self and your inner core sees what you see. At the end, your spirit guides are only here to guide you. They're not here to live your life. They're not here to be you or replace you. There's only one you, pile number 2. I'm rhyming so much. But you need to realize that, pile number 2. That's why you exist. If someone else could be you, you wouldn't be here. That's why you're here. You're here for a reason, and you need to trust that. And your spirit guides are here to guide you. Your ancestors are here to teach you what they know, but they're not here to tell you who to be. Okay? I want to make that clear. They're here to teach you and guide you, not tell you how to be or who to be. That's only for you to know and find out, and to hold the chance to bring that out into the world. Free yourself. Okay? Free yourself from the confinement of other people's realities. What is your reality? What does your reality look like? There's a freaking unicorn in this pen. It's a unicorn. It's not a regular horse. It's a unicorn. It could walk through walls if it wanted to. It could probably poop out rainbows. Why are you letting something so mundane like a fence stop something as mystical and magical and enchanting as you? You are the fence. The fence is you. You can do as you please. You can come and go. Do you realize how powerful you are, pal number 2? Look, your horn is so freaking long. Your horn is like an antenna. It's like beep, 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 beep. Sending Morse code from your third eye to the universe, vice versa, and receiving messages. That's so funny. Yeah, so the heart-to-heart conversation really does tie into the heart-to-heart conversation you need to have with yourself. Okay. Part number 2. If you have been having a hard time hearing your guides, or your guides seem to refuse to talk to you because they know it's the time to step aside. It's like when you teach a child how to run. Walk, run, feed themselves. After a while, you have to step back and let them try it themselves. You have to let them fall and stumble a few times and make those mistakes and let them learn how to get up themselves in order to develop as human beings, right? That's exactly what your spirit guides are doing right now, pile number 2. They're letting go of your hand. They're not cradling you. They're not kid gloving you. They're literally just letting you make your mistakes because they know you'll be okay. They know these mistakes are not, they're not permanent. Okay? These mistakes are actually your growing pains, your learning blocks. You need this space holding to practice. You need to get acclimated. You need to be acquainted with your own self and your own movements and the way you sound and the way you feel and the way you think. You have to start discerning how that's like, because you never really once fully developed that yet. When you did open your third eye, pile number 2, you fully went into developing relationship with your ancestors and your spirit guides in the universe. But you didn't quite develop a relationship with yourself. We're going to look into why right now. Another reason why they've stepped aside is that they also need to take care of something. They're trying to divert something very disastrous from happening in your lifeline karma. This has to do with your path, your ancestors. It's like the ultimate test. It's like a mega boss coming into your life, I'm hearing. Okay, so you know that saying, with great power holds great responsibility? Because you're so freaking powerful. Okay, because you're so freaking powerful, that does not come without consequences. What do I mean by that? Like attracts like. But when you have such strength, there's also an opposition equal to your strength. But yeah, okay, what was I going at? Yes. So it's like, it's not necessarily bad, although that can be intimidating. But you've been doing it before time, pile number 2. You've been doing it even when you came into awakening this lifetime. You just weren't aware you were doing it. You've been working at your karmas, facing your inner demons, pulling your weight, releasing things that don't serve you, diverting away from danger and toxicity and unhealthy connections without even realizing it, pile number 2. That's how graceful you are, I hear. So don't be afraid. Trust in higher forces, okay? Choose your path intentionally. Make plans and focus. This will come in due time. Once you start tuning into who you are and listening to your higher self and your inner truth of your heart. But be aware that because you've been gracefully redirecting yourself and dodging all these interceptions, opposing forces were thrown at you, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Because it's like working out, I'm hearing. It's like the gym. Like when you gain your strength, when you first start developing your strength, right? You start off somewhere, even if it's a seeming like, hold on. Even if it's a seeming small weight, like you're lifting 10 pounds for the first time, which is still really heavy, right? You need that resistance to grow. You need the opposition to have the discernment and the contrast to develop growing pains, and also to have something to push against, to strengthen whatever it is that's weak, to sharpen whatever is dull, to create density in whatever is very light, to make resilient something that is, you know what I mean, okay? And so you have been doing it for the longest time. You've been doing it since you started your awakening, pile number 2. And so there's no difference, but the only difference now is that you're aware, okay? That drain of resources, dangerous undercurrent. I want to know exactly what this means. I'm going to channel into this, okay? Hold on. For some of you, pile number 2, as you get more powerful, you might have a tendency to draw in stronger entities, deities, spirit guides, or require more guides to come together to help you manifest, I hear, or understand deeper into what the path you're venturing into. So if you're trying to educate yourself about, let's just say, manifestation, okay? You want to manifest bigger things. That's going to require more energy. It's going to require more focus. And because of that, it's going to require more support and guidance, which inevitably means more support and guidance from the other side. And you're also going to be demanding more of yourself. And so I do hear there's a warning that draining of sources, it's almost like when you're drinking for the first time or you're weightlifting for the first time and you don't know your own limits, and you kind of like putting on more than you can handle. Like you're weightlifting for a longer duration of time, you're lifting heavier than you should be, or you're drinking more than your body can handle, and then last minute you crash, like you get way blackout drunk, or you are so beat up the next day you can't even work out for a whole week, or maybe you end up hurting a tendon because you ended up pulling something because you were lifting a weight that was like 5 to 10 pounds way more beyond your capacity. And so there is a warning there, and that's also the reason why your guides have stepped aside, because they want you to take a break and to listen within yourself and tune into your own inner compass what it is that you need to do. Manifesting may not necessarily be the path or the necessity you need to take at this very moment, pal number 2. It maybe it's something as simple as receiving. You know, one of the biggest lessons I've had this month is, sure, you can spend all your time and resources and energy and intentions to manifesting, but what good is that when you're not in a position of receiving? You're not open enough to spot the opportunities to capitalize on the situations and the circumstance that you are hoping to bring into your life. What good is that when your heart's not open, or your mind's not open, or you're not even freeing yourself to open yourself to the capacity to receive what it is you asked for? Because maybe perhaps you want something big, but then when it arrives, you don't think you're good enough to accept it, because you think that you only have this much space to work with, when in fact you're infinite. Let's see what else. There are a lot of spiritual beings on the other side that are taking notice of you, both ones that are here to help you and ones that are here to try to stop you. Naturally, the ones that are trying to stop you are the unhealed aspects of us as a oneness, the unhealed aspects of us being triggered by our light. But the ones who are here to help us are here to guide us. And they will know exactly where to bring you the moment you decide where exactly it is that you want to go. And now I'm thinking about that moment with like Alice in Wonderland, where Alice is asking the Cheshire Cat, like, where should I go? Like, where do I go from here? And then the Cheshire Cat's like, I don't know, where do you want to go? You can go wherever you please. And then she's like, you know exactly what I mean. But at the same time, she's not clear herself what she wants. You know, and it's the same thing in life. Like, when you're not certain where you want to go, you can go anywhere. And sometimes that might even mean nowhere. So take the time to tune in, okay? So the ending of this message I do hear is a reminder for you to stay grounded and to be grateful. Don't get too lost in the sauce, okay, pal number 2? Do remember, you are special and you are here for a reason. Your voice, your visions, your creativity, only you can bring to this world, and the people need you. And while you're trying to figure that out, and while you're tuning into yourself and you're listening to what your guides, your higher self, your inner heart, your truth is saying, okay? Be grateful. Be thankful for how far you've come. Acknowledge your accomplishments. See the beauty in all that you are and everything that you've become to this point. I do see release your ex. I want to tap into that before I finish up the reading. So, look at this. I never noticed this before. Look, this girl is distraught over a love letter, someone leaving her. But she's a motherfucking angel. Look at her. Angel, angel. Freaking unicorn. And look at this. More wings. More wings. Shaman, trust in higher forces. More wings. Look how, oh, look at this. These birds laying eggs. How many wings are there in here? Heart-to-heart conversation. Angel wings. Wait, again. You are honestly divinely guided, and there's a lot of angels around you. You are watched over by light beings. Beings that have the best intentions for you, pile number 2. You are protected. Here you are mourning over a mortal. I'm hearing. Here you are mourning over a mortal who might not even be worth half your time, let alone a fraction of your time, let alone an increment of your time, okay? You have to realize, not only does your milkshake bring the boys to the yard, it's not a milkshake. It's a motherfucking elixir, okay? That's what you bring to the yard. You have an elixir. You don't just bring boys to the yard. You bring deities. You bring spirit guides. You bring ancestral lines. You bring angels. Do you understand? You're bringing higher beings to the yard. What kind of metaphor is this? And here you are crying over this mortal who can't even see half the light of what you are. Pile number 2. That's how beautiful you are. The same person who let you go is the same person who trapped you, thinking they can control the amazingness, the potential, the beauty that lies within you. They were the one that built up this freaking little fence. All you have to do is just step over it. You're a mythical being, pile number 2. But you fell into the illusions of thinking you're just like them, because that's exactly what they wanted you to believe. Because if they couldn't get you to believe that, they would be afraid that they would lose you and you just fly away. That you would realize the worth and the beauty of who you are, and you would leave them sooner than later. And a large part of the reason why they left you first, see, you mentioned first, the reason why they left you is they wanted to leave you first before you left them, because they knew that they weren't good enough for you. But the beautiful thing is you are letting go. You're starting to let go. There's literally, I just noticed, it's so weird, as if this image came to life. I started noticing little sparks of fire. It looks like flame and smoke. Maybe she's burning that letter. She's releasing her ex. She's not hung up on the ex anymore. She's releasing the ex. And I feel like the yellowness of the paper is like symbolical of these ropes are holding her down, binding her down. She's burning it away. She's releasing it. Wow. Good job, pile number 2. You really are releasing. Because you know who you are. And if you don't, you're about to very shortly, within the next 3 months. Wow, that was a very, very beautiful reading. All right. Thank you so much, pile number 2. And thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy. I certainly hope that was insightful for you. And of course, as always, if you like my vibe, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you want a reading from me, all the information is down in the description box below. With that being said, I will see you in the next video. Okay. All right, pile number 3. All right. All right, pile number 3. Let's get started with your reading, shall we? So your ancestors' oracle says, Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Sage, be devoted and committed. Set your sights higher, stargazer. Okay. Your oracle emanations card is Hod, left leg submission. I'm getting a message right away that the truth is not always what it appears to be. The truth isn't what we always aspire to think we are looking to reach. The truth is not necessarily the preconceived notion of held beliefs and thought frames that we have currently existing in our minds. The truth isn't always what we identify as to be the truth. The truth is the truth, regardless of our ego and our perception of it. It is the one thing that is most true, most genuine. And that itself is truth, is love. And it can show and appear and come to our lives in ways we do not expect and in ways we may not understand. Love isn't always necessarily a feel-good thing, pile number 3. That is the light side of love. There's a dark side of love. So what is the dark side of love? You know, when you get your first heartbreak because somebody who was not necessarily meant for you leaves your life. And it brings you a lot of pain and sadness, right? But that pain is what develops our character. That pain, that suffering is what develops our soul this lifetime. And that is a form of love from life, from universe, from God, from spirit. And that is love that we are not always open to receiving because we only want to receive what we think is best. But we don't always know what's best. Sometimes the things we want to avoid most is what will help cause the most growth in us. And those things that causes growth and causes growing pains is very much in its own sense a form of love. Okay? That's a very beautiful message. So we got daily guidance for angels. Life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding a purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. That is very insightful. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. True, we always think about what our life purpose is, but we don't realize that when we serve a purpose, the purpose serves us in return. Life's purpose also serves us. I'm looking at this picture and there's like an elderly man riding with a feather, and there's time. It's like the man thinks he needs to invest a lot of time and intention and spend a lot of effort and time into his work and his writing. But he doesn't realize, or he will soon realize, that he is time. He is the writing. He is the ability he's trying to cultivate. he's just perceiving it through a very conditional lens, because there's a picture of a clock behind him, like a grandfather clock, like the hands of time. So I know this card, I think, is supposed to represent like the time we have on earth, and also like divine timing. But as I'm looking at this card, I feel like a lot of us think that we need to do things a certain way in order to be satisfied or satisfying and gratifying, or acceptable through the human ego and through the human mind, through society's conception and understanding of how skills are to be cultivated. I know there's this thing where it's like, if you cultivate 10,000 hours to a craft, you become like a master at it, right? That is true, but there are also many exceptions as well, I hear, pile number 3, that you should not think so linear, but rather open up your mind to the possibilities that you don't have to equate time to the way you accumulate and build your purpose, and accumulate and build your talent and your skill. It's not that black and white. It's not that linear. It's not that one-dimensional way of thinking. You are the time. You are the skill. You are that way of thinking. You are those abilities that you're cultivating. You are cultivation itself. And what I mean by that, how can I explain such an abstract way, such an abstract message? You think you are time because you have put in those time in lifetimes before. That's why it's a talent this lifetime. That's why you may come across as a renaissance this lifetime. Time is linear. It's a human concept. Time is here and now, the past and present all at once. You can achieve that mastery by flowing and just being. But if you withhold it from yourself and you think you can only obtain it after you put in X amount of hours or X amount of time or worked X amount of effort of hard work, then you're not allowing for your talent and your voice and your purpose and your truth and your beauty and your visions and your skills and the cultivated abilities you've had over many lifetimes to just come through you just like that. Pile number 3, okay? That is amazing. Let's keep going. We got Conscious Spirit Oracle, 41, Moon Goddess. I am in harmonious flow with the moon's energy in all phases of life. And it's beautiful that it's number 41, because 4 plus 1 is 5, is change. And the moon phases always change, but we're always changing, we're always flowing. We're not just one way. So if you allow yourself to wane and wax and flow, just like the moon, you will see that there are phases and seasons in your work. There are phases and seasons in the way you think, in the way you create, in the way you express. Okay, so love oracles, we got wedding. The situation involves marriage. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. There's a lot of similarities in all these readings, so I think listening to all of them would be really good. It's almost like an evolution phase for you guys. Very beautiful. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. It's like a poetry unfolding from pile 1 to 3. Very touching, actually. I can feel it in my heart right now. Cosmos, Tarot, and Oracle cards. We got Centaurus, misdirected aggression, mistakes, pity. And then you got Wheel of Fortune, Pegasus, from humble beginnings to true potential. It's also a horse too. Pixies, journey, navigation, route. And then your Osho cards, courage, trust, completion, beyond illusion. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and look at these cards. Unlock the magic within. You cannot be resentful of all the pain that you went through, either of your own doing, your own choosing, of your own choosing, either by your mistakes or by other people's mistreatment towards you or their mistakes. People's mistreatments are often a mistake. But I digress. You can't hold on to the past and resent the pain that has brought you so much growth, and yet expect at the same time to find your life purpose. Pile number 3. That's a catch-22. Big brains right here. You can't expect to discover growth and to find your truth and your purpose when you are resenting every step that has brought you up to this point of your life. Maybe not perhaps every step. For some of you, pile number 3, yes. And for some of you, it's only select periods of your life that you really resented because it really left a number on you. Like it really cut you deep and you weren't able to fully let go or forgive. And this holding back of this energy and holding on to these old energies, when it has brought you so much beauty in your life, you have to start seeing things from a place of gratitude. Seeing that was a form of love brought to you by your guides, your ancestors, the universe, God, your higher self, life. All the pain, along with all the joy that life has brought into your reality, was from love, from a place of love, all for your higher growth. And you cannot unlock the magic within if you're holding hate or resentment in your heart for any of those processes that led you up to this point. It's going to prevent you from seeing your truth, prevent you from seeing who you really are. Because in order to see who you really are and to acknowledge fully everything that you are, you have to also accept the parts that hurt you in order to develop you. The parts that brought you pain, the moments where things shattered your heart wide open, to show you how strong you are, to be capable, pile number 3, to build yourself back up again, to strengthen your heart piece back together, and is more resilient than ever, and you're more discerning than ever, you're wiser than ever. And instead of finding resentment in those pains, to find truth and gratitude and beauty and love and all those opportunities. Those were opportunities for you to learn, opportunities for wisdom. They were lessons. There were wisdom and lessons hidden inside those painful memories, those painful moments of your life. Okay? Yeah, there's a flower of life on top of this card here. And on top of here, there's also like an orb. So you guys are very open and receptive. There's a lot of things that look very planetary, like these both have these circles above the head, like an aura, like the crown is open. And then this one is above the moon. There's a lot of circles here too. So when I look at Pixies and I look at journey, navigation, and route, this mermaid, her third eye is closed. And it's almost like she's presenting to you a gift from the depths of the ocean. And the depths are from the depths of your unconscious, your subconscious, the parts that maybe you're not willing to release and let go of. You're wallowing in a sea of pain that you're not ready to forgive. That's why there's misdirected aggression. You've been upset at the wrong thing for too long, they say. Set your sights higher. Beyond illusion, when you can realize everything is for you, not against you. And I know people say that a lot, and like in the past when I heard that, I was like rolling my eyes out so bad. Like, how the heck can most things be for me when clearly it's against me? Everything serves a purpose. Everything's an opportunity for us to learn from. There's always a lesson and a wisdom in everything. And if you learn from it, you understand why it exists, why it's there. It's to show us and to teach us something. And if it keeps repeating, that's because we have not healed that part of ourselves yet. So we're attracting it into our vicinity. Right? This is also another orb, third eye. It's like, you guys, crown chakras are very open. I'm going to keep looking. Look, this completion is also the missing piece with third eye. Finding your inner truth. Unlocking your magic. The third eye is here too. Third eye, third eye, third eye, third eye. And then also, this is a third eye. Do you see where I'm going at with this? There's a part of you that's still closed because you have not forgiven and you have not opened up to the fact that these pains was brought to you not for punishment but for love and for your highest growth. Because your higher self wanted this. You wanted to be more than just mediocre this lifetime. In order to be more than mediocre this lifetime, you need to have courage. The courage to think and live and be beyond the perceived reality of what we have in this world, the linear way of thinking. You know, people think, oh, there's rocks, there's no way a flower can grow through a rock. But look at this flower defying it, because this flower is the rock. Do you understand? Just like pile number 2. Whatever you think your limitations are, you are part of that limitation. That limitation serves as a limitation because you're putting importance and emphasis that it is a limitation. You defined it. You defined it. Everything in your life has no meaning until you give it a meaning. Nothing is seen as a limitation until you perceived and you defined it and you gave it meaning that is a limitation. You self-obstructed. Same with this time and the grandfather clock, and thinking you need to be very old in order to have certain talent, or you have to be old to be wise. No, you put that meaning there. And if it's not you, it's society that put that meaning and put it onto you. And you're still holding on to that resentment. Therefore, that's why you can't unleash your magic. Unlock your magic. So Sage says be devoted and committed. Look, there's more writing here. Be devoted and committed to your truth, not other people's truths, okay? Pile number 3. Set your sights higher. Yeah, I feel like in order to, when you're expanding further out, looking further out, it also challenges you to look deeper within. You're searching for something. So let's see how this ties into, look, trust. You need to trust yourself. I want to see what this wedding and let your friends help you and very soon romantic feelings mean. When you unlock your magic and you become in touch with who you are and you start living your purpose and serving the purpose and letting your inner self flow. Oh, inner selves. Not even just inner self flow, inner selves flow. That means there are lifetimes of you, lifetimes of experience and knowledge accumulated in your bloodline, in your energetic frequency that is waiting to flow and live through you simultaneously all at once, here, now, in the past, in the future, and what's to be. That is amazing. And when that happens, very soon, through the help of your friends or through the connections of your friends, you're going to meet your partner. You're going to meet a romantic partner. Woo! And they're going to be your life partner, I hear. This life partner most likely has the same I want to be careful how I word this here, pile number 3, because I don't want it to be linear. Because pile number 3, you tend to think linearly. No offense. They are sharing the same energetic path as you. They have the same spiritual, higher selves, energetic, bigger picture objectives as you. They don't necessarily share the same purpose or passion as you. However that purpose and passion may look is different. But overall, they share the same intentions as you. They're going to teach you how to be brave. I feel like in very many senses of words, they're kind of opposite of you. You might think, oh my God, my love partner, they're going to be exactly the same as me. We're going to eat chocolate ice cream together because I love chocolate ice cream. So they have to love chocolate ice cream or whatever the conditions are. No, they're going to be probably opposite of you and mirror you. And they're going to teach you to integrate aspects of themselves into who you are, vice versa. You guys are like yin and yang, black and white. You guys have what each other need, which makes sense. Oh, I hear some twin flame energy here, but healed twin flame, okay? Not the codependent needing to still ascend twin flames that are trying to lift their own energies and break through their karma twin flames. Like the twin flames that are on their last lifetime and reincarnation to meet each other, twin flames, kind of twin flame. From humble beginnings to true potential. Trust. I hear that you have the answer and knowledge and wisdom and insight to something very important that many people will need to hear. You are also a healer here, pile number 3. That's very clear. And you heal not necessarily through traditional means of healing. You heal through your art. You heal through your vision. You heal through being you. That is a beautiful thing. Can you imagine just being and you're healing just for being you? That's like the sun or the rain. You just are and it serves. Isn't that amazing? And you have to believe that that's enough. You are enough, file number 3. You don't need to work 10,000 years to become a master. You are already a master. You just need to be, you just need to step into your mastery. Any remaining messages that they need to hear for the rest of the year? So this box is actually empty. There's nothing inside it. And when I was looking at the compass, I hear that you're going to search far and wide, or you have been searching far and wide. In the next 3 months, you're going to realize that everything that you're looking for and all the things that you aspire to be were within you all along, just waiting for you to just look within. You just need to turn in and realize, oh my God, I already have it. Whatever I need, I can make it. I can create it. I can feel it. I can speak it into existence. I can create the story. Do you know what I mean, pile number 3? Whatever you're looking for external to you doesn't exist because only you can bring it to fruition. You're the one that has the magic. Unlock the magic within. The object you're looking for is magic, and the magic is inside of yourself, not outside of you. It's your magic, no one else's, pile number 3. And when you discover that within the next 3 months, your life partner is going to start crossing paths with you, and you guys are going to grow together, both in love and career. Okay, with that being said, I appreciate you so much. If you like my vibe, be sure to subscribe. If you want a personalized reading from me, it's all in the description box down below. With that being said, thank you so much for letting me tap into your energy. It has truly been a blessing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.